Greetings, we are anonymous. A broad technology law that was created over 3 decades ago has been unjustly targeting our friends of truth who are trying to spread knowledge. Activists, humanitarians, journalists, and artists have been targeted due to the fact that many of our legislators have very limited knowledge of technology and the World Wide Web. In this video we will be speaking of the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, also known as the CFAA, and its much needed reform. The CFAA was formed after the 80s movie War Games starring Matthew Broderick was released and politicians got scared and overreacted implementing the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. This law was passed hastily and worded very vaguely, which has allowed it to be used to target anyone the government would like to silence. The law doesn't only work well for governments, it also helps big corporations who wish to suppress people's voices or prosecute their own employees and customers. The CFAA in its current form is an open invitation for abuse from prosecutors who want to scare and intimidate people into silence by threatening them with decades behind bars and massive fines. AaronsLaw is a great starting point for CFAA reform. It takes much of the common online acts that are included in the CFAA, which conceivably makes all internet users felons, and decriminalizes those common items like breaking terms of service agreements, and would at least scale back on overzealous prosecutors being able to stack charges on internet users and charge them multiple times for the same alleged infraction. Aaron Swartz was an altruist, a fighter for internet freedom and the freedom of public information to be accessible to all people. He was not seeking personal wealth or fame, he just wanted to make the world better. He wanted every person of every social class and nation to have access to the same information regardless of their financial status. Aaron lived a life of service to all people who use the internet. He has helped shape the virtual world we all are a part of today. His footprint is everywhere on the internet, whether we realize it is his or not. Aaron had so much to offer the world. If he were with us today, we can only imagine what he would have accomplished in the name of freedom, but he isn't with us because after years of fighting trumped up charges under the CFAA and targeted harassment by federal prosecutors and the FBI in a very expensive legal battle that nobody seemed to want pursued other than the government, Aaron took the only viable action he could see at the time, a zero sum, and because of the CFAA all the people in the world lost a true leader who was working for good. It is time for us to stand up to the US government and clearly say this archaic draconian law needs to go. That we will no longer sit idly by and watch them pick your neighbors, your friends, and your relatives off one by one in hopes that they will only have left those who believe what they tell us without question. As Aaron once said, there were things that could be changed, and they were things that, more importantly, were wrong and should change, and once I realized that, there was really no going back. Will you stand behind Aaron's law? We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.